touch on pages 138, 39 to 43 because I just had this, I'm like, wow, this is what I've been thinking about relationship for all this time. And here's Jay, he's just talked about it. So talk about these pages to me. And I have, you can look at them in your book, and I have them.
I believe that is the pages where we're talking about.
I found myself thinking, writing in here, wow, you know, nice, this is deep.
Yeah, I've had different people sit down. This was just me having conversations, and then I wanted to, or actually people wanted me to now write these conversations and these concepts down into a book that they can now just have for themselves.
Yeah.
So what I'm talking about here is basically that life I had. At 24 years old, we bought our first home. We had, you know, this home had a pool in the backyard. We had our own cars. We were living the American dream. And my mother-in-law had come to visit, you know, and she'll probably be upset that I mentioned this, but you know, I love you, Mom.
Away from that,
yeah.
You had to go through that struggle.
I thanked her.
Yeah,
I thanked her because she wound up helping to propel me. But you know, she wasn't satisfied with where we were. And my wife kind of, you know, didn't know how to address her mother. And for me, again, my own insecurities jumped up, and I'm thinking, oh, you know,
here's this mother-in-law thing.
Yeah, she's thinking this, she's thinking that. And as those insecurities begin to creep up that I didn't have before, now our relationship slowly began to deteriorate because now I'm thinking, oh, she's thinking this isn't good enough, that isn't good enough. So the more I'm now focused on my insecurities, the bigger the wedge is caused between me and my wife. And now our shared space is shrinking. We have less shared space. Now the only thing we're trying to hold on to is the home, you know, the cars, pay the bills, and the enjoyment of each other, of who we are separately, is gone. And now that shared space is almost nothing. It's just these absolutes that we had brought for each other. And that, you know, is where I think a lot of people kind of find themselves, where they're living their relationship just for their things, just for their absolutes. Well, I'm supposed to be married. I'm supposed to be that. You get lost. Again, that 7-year itch, you know, comes in
on before you know
like, you're not who I'm supposed to be with, but it's really because you're not just opening yourself up. You know, cheating sometimes gets thought of as just the sex. Cheating is when you can't share your unshared space with someone, right? If I'm not telling you where I was, where I've been, you're still insecure, no matter what it was I've done.
Wow, that's deep. You said here on page 144, my wife is like a tuning fork that allows me to get the correct emotional tone. I was like, interesting. And we have about 30 seconds or so left. So tell me, what would you want people to get with your book?
What I want them to get, again, is that sense of responsibility for your happiness. If you can begin to, as I was saying with my wife now, begin to address your emotions. You know, it's not about necessarily that person is in front of you, it's about what's going on in your own heart. If you can begin to say, that negative that I'm feeling is actually for me, that will help shape your relationship just that much better. Because instead of reacting, because to react to someone's negativity is to give more negativity. And you see arguments grow because now it's a back and forth of growing, as opposed to, whoa, this is my negativity.
And I can do something about it.
Yes, you take responsibility, you stop that arguing, that fighting, and you can begin to grow and expand. And then give that person the option of maybe going somewhere else. When you're done with someone, you're no longer thinking about them. When you're not, you still have those arguments, you still have those whatever. And we think, oh, I'm divorced, I'm done.
You're not, because you haven't dealt with the root.
Exactly.
So take responsibility. Thank you so much. This is fascinating. This is a book that couples, young couples just getting married, you can benefit from what's in here. If you're at that 7-year point, you can benefit from it. Thank you so much, Jay. This has been an enlightening conversation.
Thank you.
Thank you.